Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we are diving deep into the epic, century-long culture war between Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund, famously known as Der Klassiker. Now, if you follow football at all, you already know this is easily one of the most thrilling rivalries on the planet. But today, we're going way beyond the 90 minutes on the pitch. We're going to unpack the history, the intense politics, the sociology, and the pure economics that built this relentless feud. Think of this as a documentary-style journey through the absolute heart of German football. Let's get right into it. So, here is our roadmap for today. We're breaking this down chronologically, starting with origins, moving through war and politics, the absolute chaos of the 90s, bankruptcy and revolution, the epic Wembley climax, and finally, modern economics. Section 1. Origins. Bourgeoisie versus the working class. To truly grasp this rivalry, we've got to go all the way back to the very beginning, where their club DNAs are literally total opposites. The contrast here is just fascinating. Back in 1900, Bayern Munich was founded in a chic cafe by a group of bohemian artists. It perfectly represented the flamboyant, aristocratic spirit of the Bavarian bourgeoisie. Meanwhile, up in Dortmund in 1909, a group of rebellious young guys, totally fed up with strict church rules, started their club in a local pub, actually naming it Borussia, after a nearby brewery. You've got the wealthy, flashy South going head-to-head with the gritty, coal-mining working class of the Ruhr region. It is a fundamental sociological divide from day one. Section 2. War, politics, and early fractures. Let's see how this divide sharpened during the darkest chapters of the 20th century. Both of these clubs faced immense political oppression during the Nazi era, but in completely different ways. Bayern Munich was systematically marginalized and officially labeled a Jewish club by the regime because their president was Jewish. Over in Dortmund, club officials were tragically executed for secretly printing anti-Nazi pamphlets inside their club buildings, which is a really powerful testament to their rebellious spirit. Fast forward to 1963 when the modern Bundesliga was formed. Dortmund was invited in, but Bayern, they were unfairly excluded. And let me tell you, that systemic injustice planted the very first modern seeds of revenge down in Munich. That hunger for revenge escalated really quickly. In 1966, Dortmund brought Germany its very first European Cup, becoming massive national heroes. And as you can imagine, this working-class triumph sparked intense jealousy in Munich. So how did Bayern react? They immediately leveled up and won the exact same trophy the very next year just to retaliate. Now, the staggering scoreline of 11-1 back in 1971 wasn't just a win for Bayern Munich. It was an absolute massacre. This jaw-dropping defeat is widely considered the major breaking point where sporting competition fully mutated into pure, unadulterated sporting hatred. Moving on to Section 3, the 90s, when the rivalry completely lost control. Thanks to massive stock market wealth, Dortmund finally had the financial muscle to seriously challenge Bayern's absolute monarchy. During this era, mutual respect just evaporated, gone. The pitch turned into a battlefield. You had wild, visceral moments, like Bayern's Lothar Matthäus mocking Dortmund's Andreas Müller with that infamous crybaby gesture, and Müller literally slapping him in return. Then you have Bayern's legendary goalie, Oliver Kahn, delivering a flying kung fu kick to Stefan Chapuisat, and later, bizarrely, trying to bite Heiko Herrlich's ear. Total madness. But the ultimate flex? Dortmund winning the 1997 Champions League and lifting the trophy right inside Bayern's own home, the Munich Olympic Stadium. Talk about rubbing salt in the wound. The rivalry had crossed the line from sporting competition to pure, unadulterated animosity. That quote hits the nail on the head. This era proved Der Klassiker was way more than just a football match. It was a deeply personal, psychological war. Section 4. Bankruptcy, irony, and the Klopp revolution. The high-flying 90s eventually led to a disastrous reality check for Dortmund in the early 2000s. By 2004, the financial disparity between the two was shocking. Dortmund's terrible stock market gambles and massive player wages had led to ruin. While Bayern Munich was cementing a massive, highly sustainable budget, Dortmund was drowning in debt, essentially at zero, and teetering on the absolute brink of total bankruptcy and relegation to the amateur leagues. And here is the ultimate irony of this whole story. Who saved Dortmund from extinction? Bayern Munich! Seriously? Bayern president Uli Hoeneß issued a €2 million interest-free cash loan just so Dortmund could pay their players' wages. The Bavarian Empire literally had to bail out their biggest rival just to keep the competition and those lucrative television revenues alive. So, Dortmund survived, but they couldn't fight Bayern with money anymore. They needed a tactical revolution. Enter Jürgen Klopp and gegenpressing. This heavy metal tactical philosophy is all about immediate, high-intensity pressure to win the ball back the second you lose it. Klopp built a young, incredibly hungry squad, and his relentless system completely neutralized Bayern's rich, possession-based superstars. It was an absolute masterclass. With Dortmund back on top, that fierce fan animosity came roaring back too. The cultural hostility perfectly peaked when former Schalke goalkeeper Manuel Neuer transferred to Bayern. During Der Klassiker, Dortmund fans hurled hundreds of bananas at him on the pitch. It was a visceral, unforgettable reflection of the deep-seated tribalism and anger in the stands. Section 5, the Wembley Peak and Tactical War. This intense tactical arms race hit an absolute boiling point between 2012 and 2013. The 2012 DFB Pokal final was a massive turning point. Dortmund didn't just beat Bayern, they humiliated them 5-2 on national television. This thrashing cut so deep that it triggered an unprecedented boardroom meeting in Munich, leading Bayern to declare a ruthless, single-minded campaign of revenge. And they got that revenge at the 2013 Champions League final at Wembley, the first ever all-German final. This was the cinematic climax of the rivalry. In the 89th minute of a breathtaking match, Arjen Robben, who had been mocked by Dortmund's Neven Subotic a year earlier, stepped up, scored the winner, and broke Dortmund's hearts on the biggest stage in club football. Fate can be incredibly poetic, right? Finally, Section 6, Modern Football, Economics, and Betrayal. Let's look at how Bayern has recently flexed its incredible economic muscle to dismantle Dortmund from the inside out. We're talking absolute daggers to the heart here. Just days before that massive Wembley final, it leaked that Bayern had secretly paid the release clause for Mario Götze, Dortmund's brightest homegrown star. And if that wasn't enough, shortly after they convinced Dortmund's lethal striker Robert Lewandowski to run down his contract and join them on a free transfer. The curse of Dortmund developing stars only to lose them to their biggest rival had officially begun. Just listen to this painful realization from Dortmund's CEO Hans-Joachim Watzke. Bayern is using us like a supermarket. Wow, that perfectly sums up the massive power imbalance and the ruthless economic reality of modern football. No matter how brilliantly Dortmund scouts and develops talent, Bayern has the financial gravity to just pluck the ripest fruit off their tree the second they feel threatened. This creates a really bizarre dynamic for the players too. Look at the Mats Hummels ping-pong situation. He starts in the Bayern youth system, goes to Dortmund and becomes a global star, transfers back to Bayern at his peak, and then returns to Dortmund again. It just highlights the flexible, almost cynical reality of loyalties in modern football. Ultimately, the commercial revenue numbers today tell the whole story. Bayern Munich operates as an untouchable global corporate machine. Their sponsorships and international market value dwarf almost everyone. Dortmund, while incredibly successful, relies on a much more localized, player development-focused model. Basically, Dortmund develops the stars of tomorrow, while Bayern simply buys the stars of today. As we wrap up this explainer, it leaves us with one massive, lingering question. Will the working-class spirit and tactical genius of Dortmund ever truly overcome the relentless financial and corporate machine of Bayern Munich again? Can this deep sociological and financial gap ever truly close? Or are we just waiting for the next dramatic chapter of this century-old war to be written? Keep that in mind the next time these two giants take the pitch. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive, and I'll catch you in the next one.